Hello and welcome to the 102nd episode of Get Out of Rap TV. It's good to be back. Now, of course, this show and a lot of the work I do is brought to you by my partners. I can do it because of them. Let's start with Quetzal. Uh, Along with Zoom, Quetzal are hosting an event on Thursday. Unfortunately, it's fully booked, but I will be chairing that. That's in London at the iconic Ned. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Yesterday, I caught up with Alvaria. Congratulations to Steve Powell on becoming a granddad. Um, it was pretty traumatic, but got there in the end. So well done, Steve and family. And of course, Alvaria are all about outbound, proactive customer outreach. We're doing some exciting stuff together, and long may it continue. Better Outsourcing, who are proudly UK-based outsourcer. They are smashing it at the moment, and in fact, they have open positions in Sunderland and Glasgow. So do get in touch with Better if you are looking for work. And of course, the forum on the back of the second version of their best practice volume, they are hosting a best practice online event today, I believe. So thank you to all of them. Now then, housekeeping. If your comments are not showing, I'm not ignoring you. Please do refresh LinkedIn. Oh, hi, Jane. Jane Slater. Hi, Martin. Hi, everyone. Danny Warren. Morning, all. Love the new angle on the room. Yeah, I had a bit of a move around, so you can see a little bit more. But it did mean that I had to tidy it up a little bit, especially the bookcase that I was just using as a dumping ground. But good to see you, Alan Donaghy. Good morning. How are you? I saw that Everton were linked with Grealish today. I bet you'll be happy with that, won't you? I wouldn't mind him at Tottenham. And of course, well done, the Lionesses. Amazing, amazing. Absolutely buzzing about that on Sunday. We were all up there watching it after our football, and it was a joyous, joyous occasion. Okay, so let's kick off with why not share what you do and how we can support you? We are a nice little community here, so we should get to know each other. What do you do? Darren's here. Good morning, Darren Gracie. Good to see you, my friend. So why not share what you do and how can we support you? Hopefully by now you know what I do. You're supporting me already by being here. And of course, I do the team leader community, which of course you can always support. Danny, I know you do. Jane as well. Thank you. Morning all. Great to be here. Thank you, Martin. Where's Hugo? So he's asleep. He is asleep. The length of this show will be determined by when he needs his walk, and you can just see him at the top there. There's a really nice painting of him I got done. I can't see who you are. You might have to say who you are. It's just come up as LinkedIn user. So please do just. I'm moving house on Saturday. Any help will be accepted. We'll be there with some cardboard boxes. I'm a very good house mover. With my parents being in the Air Force growing up, we moved house a lot, so I'm good at it. Might be a bit of a trek to get up to you though. Good luck with the move, Alan. What about everyone else? What do you do? There's no I in help you move house, says Danny. Danny, I'm loving your puns on LinkedIn as well and in the team leader community. They just get better and better. Now, Danny, why don't you share what you do? Because I know so many companies would benefit from your expertise in a world where we're dominated by new tech coming in. I think there's even more of a need for the kind of services that you offer. Irina, hi all. Irina Valcheko from Ukraine, the Ukrainian Contact Center Association. Hi all. Best wishes to Hugo. One day I will try and get him a chair so he can sit next to me. But Slava Ukraini, Irina, we're all still right behind you, and we must get together. I'm sure there's more we can do, and use any of my platforms to try and help. Um, yes, Neris is here, the legend, Neris Caulfield. I write pithy posts on LinkedIn when something strikes me as important and can do with likes. I also do consultancy, but I'm juggling too much at the moment. I don't think anyone works harder than you, Neris. And we love the pithy posts. You like to say it as it is. And of course, you might have a view on what was probably the biggest news with NICE acquiring, is it Cognigi? Is that how you say it? A big move, a very, very big move. In other news, we're up to 627 members of the community, and LinkedIn is still a time machine. So you'll probably get this 2 weeks later. Danny says, Neris Caulfield, they're not pithy. One of the few genuinely and consistently insightful creators. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. Apparently, I read minds, but I don't. I read workplaces and a little bit of minds. And Danny will be doing a masterclass for us in the community where he'll be reading my mind. That's how I've read it. Anyway, Danny. So, Neris, what are your thoughts on the NICE acquisition? Acquiring a big conversational AI player that was doing well by all accounts, didn't need the acquisition, but it's a big move in the market, isn't it? And apparently, I read that the plan is that customers will go through the AI layer. All customers will go through the AI layer before speaking to team members. But yes, a very, very big move, and you wonder what it will do for the rest of the market. Oh, Double G is here, Gary Gormley. I'm Double G. I'm a LinkedIn pest, but also have a side hustle in helping contact centers with people, process, and tech problems, and just an all-round good guy. As you all are, guys. You can use that terminology for both. Oh lordy, Danny, reading your mind. Who is LinkedIn user? Please do let me know. It's not. It might come up on the comments on LinkedIn, but it doesn't. Oh, Joe Phillips, amazing human being, business and operations leader, manager, looking for a new role. So in Cambridgeshire area. So please do get in touch with Joe. Connect with Joe if you're not already. Huge asset to the LinkedIn, the team leader community. Sorry. Um, Danny's reading all of our minds. Okay. We've got a great group here, and I'm sure you can help with this next question. We did a poll in the community the end of last week, asking the team leaders whether they ever had experienced feelings of imposter syndrome. We had 14 responses. 100% of them said yes. So, what advice would you give to team leaders experiencing imposter syndrome? And just while you ponder that, let me just say hello to Nick Home. Morning, all. Day job of business development, but alongside that, trying to build awareness of the amazing success stories and learnings in our industry through my learning from leaders posts. Yes, they are very, very good, Nick. I liked your post the other day. It might have been 2 weeks ago. But it came up in my feed yesterday or maybe even this morning. So here's my question. And of course, I can take your advice and put it into the community. So you will be helping others, because I'm not sure if Dan Cohen is with us. Dan did an episode with me of Get Out a Rap, where he talked about how he doesn't think the title imposter syndrome is helpful. It kind of holds us back. Very, very interesting view. But as I said, in the poll in the community, 100% of the respondents said they had at some point or were experiencing imposter syndrome. It's certainly something I did. I posted in the community. I used to have a recurring dream where someone would come and take me from my role and even take my degree. Gary Gormley says, Neris Caulfield, I enjoy your pithy post. Speaks the truth. Yes, we do. We are right behind you, Neris, on these. Please do keep them coming. Don't pull any punches. I know you don't. So, what advice would you give to team leaders experiencing imposter syndrome? How have you handled it in the past? Is it something you can relate to at some point? Maybe you've got a role that you've gone for that you thought, this is going to challenge me, and you had to deal with imposter syndrome at some point to be able to keep going and do your job. What do we think? Or maybe you haven't. You've just been like, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Hello, hello, says Gary. Jane Slater says, I would really hope that their line manager has built a culture of psychological safety and they feel able to talk their feelings through with their leader. And in most cases, I'm sure the leader has experienced it too, so can give guidance on how to deal with it. Empowering team leaders and giving them confidence will support them. I love that. Danny Wareham says, what are the behaviors that will aid the success of your organizational strategy? I am the lubricant that gets the soft, squishy bits. Our behaviors and our approaches moving in the right direction. That is a really, really brilliant description of what you do, Danny. I, I'm going to get you a T-shirt that says "I am the lubricant" on it. Ah, g'day, mate. Luke Dobson is here. Morning, all. I connect with people and solve problems. TL needs to understand 100% of TL also experience this based on a recent reputable survey. If it can be used to keep focused, drive improvements, and become better, take advantage of it. Really nice point. Really nice point, Luke. I like that. Use it as something to drive you to be better. Gary Gormley says, I've had a little imposter syndrome in my career, largely because I was a young leader and hadn't felt I had earned my stripes, and also bypassed a degree and went straight to McDonald's uni. I do remember. To get over it, I got a business coach and focused on achievements and the impact that I had on others, which helped me see that my actions had positive consequences. I love that. Remind yourself of your wins and the positive impact you have. I love that. Danny Wareham says, recognizing that imposter phenomenon isn't good or bad. It's part of who you are. Understanding more about yourself so you can recognize when you're at your best and when you're tripping yourself up can unleash some of the benefits of traits associated with IP, such as hyperfocus, enhanced interpersonal skills, etc. Yes, there we go. I mean, once again, I'm always in the presence of people that know so much and share it so eloquently. So thank you very much. Let's keep this going, though, because it is a phenomenon. And I'm conscious of the change in your terminology there, Danny. Is that important to you that it's known as imposter phenomenon rather than imposter syndrome? I know there's always method to your sharing. Is that we then have a better understanding, or is it that you just don't like the phrase syndrome? Is there something negative associated with that? I'm firing a lot of questions at you, but I know you type fast. What do we have? And please do remember, if your comments are not showing, I'm not ignoring you, I promise. Please just refresh LinkedIn. Whilst I'm waiting for Danny, I do have yet another request of you. Would you like to provide a prize for the August competition in the team leader community? If your company is interested, of course, you will get publicity in the community. You'd be doing something good. And we will share all about it on LinkedIn as well. And to give you an idea of some of the competitions and prizes that we've run previously, it doesn't have to be much. We've given away books, webcams, headphones, vouchers. Um, and again, when I say vouchers, maximum I think is £100. We've given away meal vouchers, those types of things, experiences. Would you like to get involved and sponsor or be the provider of a prize for an August competition? Let me just catch up. They've gone too fast, these comments. Okay. Danny says, for me, syndrome means a group of symptoms that occur consistently together. For me, IP isn't always consistent, and the word syndrome makes me think of medical issues. And Donny said, I understand this, Danny Wareham. My wife reminds me of this constantly. Darren Crook, good to see you, my friend. Take a moment to listen to feedback. This is about imposter syndrome. Look at your results. It's a tough one to overcome, having been a long-term sufferer. Engage in mentoring. Really good point. This really helps me take stock of what I've achieved to back up why you are doing a good job. Do you still always get things right? No. But that's all part of the learning journey. I love it. Nothing wrong with the word. I'm just a little more comfortable about it being thought of always negative, which syndrome can unintentionally imply, hence me saying it. Irina, Jerry Orem Slava, waiting for you both in Ukraine. A little trip for me and Hugo to support our friends in Ukraine, who just constantly inspire with their fight. In fact, I finished watching another documentary last night. Again, just so much respect for protecting your sovereignty and your nation and your statehood. So yes, we should come. Alan Donaghy on imposter syndrome. The fear of failure is the killer here, I think. Allow people to make mistakes and learn. Build self-belief by failing early. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Is building a leadership style with confidence. That's right. You have to go through this, right? You have to have these little moments. Please do keep these coming. Do get in touch with me if you would like to provide a prize for the August competition. It could be simple. It could be as simple as something like a book that you would want someone in the team leader community to have. Maybe it's some of your time. Maybe you want to come and do a masterclass. We had a great one from Lisa Dolan, the VP of Employee Experience from TP. It was brilliant. We've got a great one coming up from Danny on the 8th of August. So maybe it's you want to give up your time, or if you would like, we have a bit of fun in the community. I haven't done a competition. I didn't do one in July or June, I don't think. I would like to be able to do one, and you can be associated with that. But now, hold on. Let me just catch up here. Nick Holmes is on the same lines of Danny. Try to normalize it. It's such a common feeling for new or young managers. That's right. Just talking about it and sharing it maybe with your peers and line manager, as Jane said, is a really important part of it, Nick, isn't it? It is normal. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's been a while, but it is time for... That's right. It's the read along. But before we do that, let me just pick up Jane's comment. I don't want to ignore it. I think Jane Slater, I think peers being able to talk through their struggles with imposter syndrome and allowing everyone to share their experience, share ideas to overcome it, and potentially celebrate the good things everyone has achieved and encourage development in their fields. Positive reinforcement will definitely help to manage IP on an ongoing basis. Working out of your comfort zone can often result in imposter phenomenon, but that very thing only serves to better your capabilities. I love it. If you never have doubts, it's often an indicator of high psychopathic traits, low agreeableness, low neuroticism, low consciousness. If that's you, we should have a chat. Danny, your brain must have a lie down. Hey MT, says Gary Gormley, happy to donate one of the packs for the strategy cards and access to the online video modules on YouTube too. Yes. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Double G. You've already done so much for the community, but I genuinely appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Okay, we're back to the read along, the UK Decision Makers Guide, and we are up to voice bots. So I found this interesting. Current and future plans for voice bots. If you remember, this is a great a great report produced by Contact Babel and Steve Morell, where they ask over 400 contact center leaders their views on everything to do with our industry. And here they were asked about, do you currently use voice bots? If not, do you plan on using them in the future? The headline I thought was interesting because it said, whilst not used, there is a lot of interest in using them. I didn't necessarily read this the same way. So 10% use voice bots now. My favorite group always, 8% don't know. Are we using them? No idea. What's a voice bot? 35% said they had plans to use them within 2 years, but 47% said, no thanks, we have no plans to use these. Danny Worm says, no brain hurt, this is my day job. Very clever and lovely man. With the B emoji, of course, which is becoming synonymous or is synonymous with Fergun. What do we think about voice bots? Are we with the 47%? No plans to use? Do you use them? Maybe you are involved in implementing them, or are you with the 8%? Don't know. Which I always do enjoy. Anyone that's going through that and selects don't know. Please don't ever stop. Nothing on voice bots. Okay. The next part of the report was fascinating. So, as well as going out to decision makers, they also talk to customers, and both were asked this: why do you abandon telephony self-service sessions? You can see here the customer does not trust the system and wants reassurance. 59% agreed with that statement, 17% strongly agreed. I think the next highest of why are people abandoning telephony self-service? The self-service functionality does not offer what they need. 60% agreed, 11% strongly agreed. And then we had, surprisingly, I think, speech recognition is not accurate or user-friendly. 45% agreed, 10% strongly agreed. Excessive security questions, not so much of a problem. And good to see too many IVR options, again, not really a problem. The problems seem to be in trust, that the customers don't trust the system and need to be reassured by a human, and that the functionality doesn't offer what's needed, and also that the speech recognition is not accurate. Danny Wham says, we sheep dip all frontline employees with the same training, provide the same processes with no flexibility, and QA them to the point there's zero flexibility. We don't need voice bots. We've made our real people voice bots. Very, very true. Jane Slater says, I think leaders may be reluctant because of the poor experiences some businesses have built. So, very, very true. Joe, they've been so deceptive in the past years. Hard to build trust again. Darren Crook, too many of our own negative experiences with these, getting stuck in a circle of pain whenever engaging with them. So, your reflections on voice bots reflect those of the 400 or so other leaders that completed the survey. And I'm sure, like you'll look at this kind of these self-service stats as to why customers abandon them, and think again, we're making it difficult for people to engage with us. We think we're doing something right. We think we're making it easier. In fact, what this is telling us is a lot of customers abandon them, and they abandon them for these reasons. So if we know that, what can we do about it? I know there are some companies that have just said, well, we're not doing it. They can just come straight through to the team. Oh, Spencer is here. Spencer colleague, sorry I'm late. Just finished my meeting. No problem. As is always the case, Spencer, these will be recorded, and it's just good to see you. Okay, final one from our read along is proportion of calls requiring caller identification and average time taken. The beauty of Contact Babel and this decision makers guide that they've done is they've done it for so long. We get the benefit of being able to have a comparison, in this case, across 14 years. So you can see from 2010 to 2024, the proportion of calls requiring ID&V whilst has risen from 60% to 76%. I think the thing that strikes me is the time it's taken to ID&V has gone up from 23 seconds in 2010 to 50 seconds and just seems to be rising. It doesn't seem that we, in conjunction with better tech, have reduced the amount of time we're asking customers to go through to ID&V themselves. Okay, there's a lot of comments for me to catch up with. Let's have a look. Alan Donaghy says, having recently been stuck in a continuous loop of nonsense, even when following the instructions to a T, does not help this type of functionality's reputation. Having said that, it is a very low sample pool of one. Lol. Darren Crook says, lack of investment time in self-service means you can spend all your efforts driving customers to it to try and reduce contact. But if the content isn't what your customers needs, they won't buy into it. Very well put. Double G, reflections on Bausenitz is interesting, especially with NICE's plans. Using voice bots for ID&V and triage up front to help with a robust RAG approach can be useful. But we are the victim of people doing it badly. Very true. I think in terms of telephony, says Jane Slater, people call because they have multiple or more complicated inquiries. They often have transacted online for the simple things. So callers want to speak to a human who can give answers and reassurance, which AI cannot. Very, very true. Darren Gracie, hello, mate. Sorry, Martin, I got caught on a call and missed a bit. No problem. This is in reply to the first question. Our ongoing work with CFAS and other organizations in financial services has confirmed that voice fraud is rising sharply, which is being driven by social engineering, deep fakes, and synthetic voice attacks. It's a big concern and a key factor in current enterprise transformation strategies. Here's how you can help me right now. If you've seen signs of voice-based fraud in your sector, let's connect. And that is apt, actually, Darren, isn't it? Along with this graphic. Maybe that's why it's taking a bit longer. Is that for IVR or human agent or both, says Luke? This one is both, the one we're looking at now. Is that what you mean? Joe says this is quite a surprising stat. It is. Gary Gormley, thank you for the clarification. Bounce nits equals voice bots. I prefer bounce nits. Can you clarify whether the calculation of the average time taken is based solely on the duration of calls where agents actually spoke with callers, or does it include instances where no verbal interaction occurred, such as silent calls or situations involving caller vulnerability where the caller may not have spoken at all? I do not know the answer to that, Spencer, but I will ask Steve Morell, because it's an important one to ask. And Danny Wareham agrees with you. Spencer Collins, great question. In my experience, that wait time, queue, or talk time doesn't include the time that you're in the IVR, but from when you're routed into a queue. Yes, that part of the question, I would agree with you, Danny. We only ever used to count it from when there was a placement of the contact rather than the time queuing. But it's a really good question. Joe says, Darren Gracie, wow, I didn't realize this is the case, but that does make so much sense with AI. And it's good to know, isn't it, that we have someone that we can speak to if we are concerned about that. And that is the whole point of this, that we're all connected together, and that we can help each other out wherever possible in our adventures in the contact center world. Well, it's good to be back. This is just a short one. It's lovely to see you all. Gary, thank you so much for providing the prize for the August competition. Um, Thank you all for being here. I will now we're coming to the end of summer. Do these more regularly again. It's been a bit of a break. We did one in June, and now we're just going to do one in July. So I will try and do at least two, because it's good to virtually chat with you all. And of course, we will have to at some point get this to an in-person event. Um, that would be awesome. Um, Spencer, let me just catch up your comment. We understand that average time taken can vary significantly depending on context. So we'd like to clarify whether this metric is based solely on active spoken interactions with callers, or if it also includes silent calls or cases involving vulnerability where full engagement wasn't possible, because if the latter is true, we're concerned that we're being overlooked in the assessment. And I know that Spencer often comes across instances where those with vulnerabilities are not considered or reflected, both in how we're set up, but also in some of the reports that come out. So let's back Spencer in his mission to make sure our industry is truly inclusive. Because much like Neris saying it as it is with her post, Spencer always calls out those instances where we are not being truly inclusive, but we might be saying that we are. So, Spencer, keep up the good work. Joe, can we all just take a moment to say a huge thank you to Martin? Oh, thank you for creating such an incredible community. It's so valuable and a huge game changer. Thanks so much for being you. Oh, that's lovely. I'm going to end there before anyone just, and I'm looking at you, Danny, comes in and says something pithy, or Neris, or Double G. But Joe, thank you very much. Thank you all for giving up some of your time this Tuesday. I hope you have a lovely day. And of course, thanks to my partners, because without them, I couldn't do this. Have a lovely day and see you for the 103rd episode very, very soon.